My name is Helen Schilling. I've been here about 7-8 months. I live in Sellersville, actually down the bottom of the hill and to the right on Longwood Avenue. I want to share with you a little bit of my past. Don't want to bore you with it, but to let you know what brought me to the Lord and brought me here specifically to faith. Let me start way back. I guess I was born with two good parents, but not godly parents, taught right from wrong, don't cheat, steal, lie, etc. And so that's how I raised my children. Unfortunately, I was a good mother, but not a godly mother. I was taught, do good, you'll go to heaven, do bad, you'll go to hell, and that's basically all I knew. I didn't know about being born again or any of that. So I married after high school, my high school sweetheart. He went in the service, and when he came out, he turned to drinking, severe drinking. We had a child, Artie, and it wasn't a happy or a good marriage because he was never home. He was on, when he worked, but when he was done working, he was out drinking and in the bars, etc. And when Artie was about 5, he came home very drunk on a Christmas Eve and screaming, hollering, and threw him across the room, and I was in the kitchen, and he started beating me all in the head, and I really thought I was going to die that night. But being a good wife and trying to make the best of a marriage, I just said, if you ever hit me again, I'm out of here. And unfortunately, I had severe headaches, and it left me with brain damage, both temporal lobes. So I developed mini seizures about 5 months later. We had another child, a daughter, Cindy, and when she was 5, again, which was 9 years later, he came home severely drunk, screaming, cursing, and I locked myself in the bathroom, and he was trying to break the door down and open it, and I did. And he had a loaded pistol to my head, and that's when I realized, I prayed, God, please, if you get me out of here alive, I'm gone. I'm not staying another day. So I left with the children, but things got worse. So anyway, I thought by leaving it would get better, but it really didn't. The stalking, the protection from abuse. So anyway, then he fought for custody, and he got every other weekend visitation, and he sexually abused her. In the meantime, our son, who was 9 years older than our daughter, suffered from severe depression. And he was in and out of the hospital in his late teens, and his father beat him so severely, put him in the emergency room. They wanted him to file a protection from abuse in his early 20s, and his father threatened to kill him. You're no son of mine if you do it. He ripped up the protection from abuse, and they didn't speak the last year or two of his life. And he ended up committing suicide. In the meantime, he's getting every other weekend with her daughter. She's crying to me. He's making her sleep with him. So he was charged by Bucks County Children and Youth with sexually abusing her. It's been one thing after another, and I thought with my own strength, I'm a strong person, I could handle all this. But my ex promised me 2 things. He said, Helen, if it's the last thing I do, he said, I should have killed you, but I didn't. He said, I will turn her against you, I promise. And I thought, how could he do that? I'm a good person, she can see, but the other thing is he said, it might take me 20, 30 years, but I will kill you. He turned our daughter against me. It's been 4 years next week that I've seen her or my 2 grandchildren, and that was the hardest thing. And that's what, after a year of crying and grieving, I just went outside in January 2011. I got on my knees out front of my house on the pavement. I just wanted to walk somewhere and get away from it all, and I cried out to God, help me. Please, God, help me. I can't take anymore. I need your help. I'm pleading with you. And something inside of me just gave me peace. And I was searching for God. I wanted to read the Bible after that. I called a couple friends. They weren't willing to help me. And some Jehovah's Witness that I knew offered me Bible studies. And that was great. I really learned about the Bible. they're good people, but after about 2 years, I realized I was also watching different preachers on TV, that what they were saying wasn't right with what I was hearing there. So I started questioning things, and they have over 100, I call them bench laws, something that isn't in the Bible, but man-made laws. And I just realized, no, this is not for me. And so I stopped going, and then I called a cousin that I haven't seen in over 20 years, knowing that she was a religious person. I said, where do I go? What do I do? I can't drive. In the meantime, I forgot to say, with the seizures, I lost a good job at Merck, put me on Social Security disability. I lost not only my son, then my driver's license, my job, my daughter. So I mentioned this church, and she went to her pastor and Xeroxed, printed out a copy of this like statement of beliefs, and she sent it to me. And her comment was, it looks good to me. Why don't you try it? So I tried faith, came in, the people were just the very first time. I felt happy, I felt people were just wonderful. And I've been coming back every Sunday ever since. It's just hard to explain, but I know this is the place for me. People aren't fake. I mean, you can wear what you want to wear. They're not judging you. And that's how I felt at other churches. You were being judged, and you're not here. And so I've learned, I've been studying the Bible. I joined a woman's Bible study group that meets here, met some other wonderful women, got closer relationships with them. And I just, no matter what's happened, it's in the past, and I could not get over my anger of what had happened to me. And with God in my life, I don't have that anger. I've forgiven my ex-husband. Unbelievably, I have no hatred or anger toward him. And I'm not angry at my daughter anymore. I realize with a father like that, she's got problems. And so I realize she needs God and he needs God, and I just pray for both of them that someday they find God too. But he has given me such peace and happiness, and now I have a reason to live, and I'm just happier than I've ever been in my life, and I'm happy here at Faith.